One day I'm gonna be everything I wanna be. I don't let it get the most of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be everything I'm gonna be. My future right in front of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be free. Then let me be free.
From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges. A host with a fire burning in his soul. With a heart, steel, and a spirit unbroken. He rides on two wheels, ready to claim his throne. Amidst the chaos and the thunderous roar, insane wheels rise as a force to be reckoned with. Fueled by the power that only metal can bestow, he takes his stand, refusing to submit. Insane wheels hear his battle cry. Metal and mayhem will never die. Rituals report he pays his way. Oh, legend in the making, day by day.
And ladies and gentlemen, good morning, Vietnam. Hopefully you're all enjoying your, hump day morning so far. Good to see everybody. It feels ultra good to be a G. We got quite a bit of a lineup this morning, as you guys already know how we do it over here. House to vote on government shutdown. That is happening tonight at around 7 p.m. Eastern. They're going to be, of course, having some sort of hearing about the whole thing and meeting, if you will. And that will be happening throughout the day, but it's not going to be something I'm going to be able to report to you guys today. We're going to have more of an idea of what's going on tomorrow morning. But nonetheless, just want to let you guys know that it is happening today, as well as tracking airport delays and Taiwan tropical storm and more. The way that I have this listed on our lineup this morning is Jeffries House Dems talk shutdown bill before rule committee meeting. So I don't know what exact committee meeting they're talking about here, but nonetheless, we've got that lined up for us. DOJ to investigate TPUSA protest in Berkeley, California. That is Turning Point USA's event was going down yesterday over there at Berkeley, California, and it got extremely violent. So I guess the DOJ is to investigate that whole thing. Supreme Court extends order on SNAP benefits as government shutdown nears its end, as well as a very interesting thing that came up in the mainstream was THC and THC products. THC products could be banned by federal spending bill. Are you fucking kidding me? Then we also have, I don't know how to say this name, by the way, Gridjava. I don't know how to say this person's name, but anyways, to be sworn in, new focus on Epstein files emerges. That's going to be obviously interesting as well. If any of you guys saw some red lights happening yesterday, last night in the evening time, you probably most likely saw the Northern Lights. And so we're going to talk about the visual effect from that. And we have basically an updated video from just an hour ago of what was happening last night with regards to the Northern Lights. Defense Secretary Hegseth on border, cartels, and beards. He comes back and is getting back onto the no beards policy, it looks like. And then Speaker Johnson, I want to apologize for government shutdown. Very, very interesting. And that's over there from the Republican House. Anyways, so real quick, just want to thank Papa D for coming in and becoming a member. That's humongous. I very much appreciate you making it rain. Make sure that you're here for Saturday mornings when we do our members-only live streams. It's the best, man. So good morning to everybody. Real quick, let's go ahead and do our call to action so we can get that out of the way, and then we can get right to you guys. So if you guys are just coming in, make sure you guys hit that like button. It helps out the show immensely, and it's free to do so. If you guys are brand new to the show, hit that subscribe button because it's also free. We do this Monday through Friday, man, so show a little love with that. And here comes the money part. Please consider becoming a member, starting only at $2.99 a month. We're making sure we're not breaking the bank out there with anybody, but check it out. This is what allows us to keep these lights on as well as being on these airwaves. So I very much appreciate you guys becoming members and staying members. And a little side note here, follow my Instagram at BallValveTV, where I post everything behind the scenes of not only my life, but as well as the show, Millennial Food Time, breaking news. And it's a great way to get a hold of me one-on-one. We also have a Discord server for all of you legends. We have the majority of you guys in there, but we need to get the rest of you guys in there. Naomi will throw a link into the chat for you guys to hit that server link. Make sure you guys join up. And if you're watching this on the playback, go down to the video description box down below of any live video, and we have that invite link for you guys. And last but not least, all super chats, super stickers, gifted membership signups are, of course, all going to be presented live onto the show and shouted out. But if you guys would like to skip that YouTube 30% brutal cut that they take from your hard-earned cash, then we have these platforms right here that you guys can donate to. And, of course, I will read out whatever comes through, just like a super chat. I've got my email up, so we'll be on the lookout for anything coming our way. All right. Let's go ahead and pretty much get right into it. I may not be able to say hi to everybody because we got a crazy morning lineup ahead of us, so I'll try. We got Warland in the building as well as Naomi. Good morning to you. We got Gary as well as Mount Woman. Always appreciate you guys. We got Prospect Mike over there. And as Liquored Up Poncho, my man would say, good morning, IWF. Morning, Mikey. Great to see you, man. I don't know, Naomi. I just go with it. I don't give a shit about it. Rabbit of Chaos, good morning to you. Great to see you. Hopefully you're enjoying your morning as well. We got Sick Bastard in the building as well as Sterling Wheel, my man. Always appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much. We are scrolling down. We got Miss Lotus as well as Straight Jacket. Good morning to you guys. We got Rob's neighbor, Carrie over there. Appreciate you guys. We got Prison up in the building. Yeah, listen, I'm going to be honest. I ain't no SoundCloud rapper. I ain't no rapper at all, actually. So you're going to be wildly disappointed. We got Joseph up there in Canada, our favorite snow Mexican. We always appreciate him saying, stop the cap, bro.
Stop the cap.
Yes, sir. Great to see you.
Bruh.
We got Gunpowder Nitro as well. Good morning to you. And we're going to have to get right into it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm scrolling down. All right, we're pretty much all caught up. Let's go ahead and get into the storyline here. Let's go ahead and begin with Jeffries over there for the Democrats. This was yesterday. Just wanted to give you guys a little side note here. This is from yesterday. And we're not going to watch this entire conference here, but we are going to get what is happening.
These people have been missing in action, absent without official leave, running scared, but they can no longer hide. The Rules Committee is going to meet shortly, and then tomorrow there will be votes on the House floor. And Democrats will continue to press the case.
No, I understand what you're getting at, but it's not. I know what you're saying, but it's not. I know exactly what you're getting at. It's just the StreamYard bullshit, but it's still a vertical. So anyways, just drop that.
To say to our Republican colleagues, you have another opportunity to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits and make sure that tens of millions of Americans all across the country in communities that Republicans represent, along with us as Democrats, tens of millions of Americans, rural America, working class America, urban America, small town America, the heartland of America, and in black and brown communities all across America, people at risk of experiencing dramatically increased premiums, copays, and deductibles because of the Republican refusal to extend the Affordable Care Act tax.
The Republican refusal. Shit. Well, you know what? We already are going to need this. We're, we use left-handed tobacco around here when we've got to deal with some crazy, stupid liberal fucks. You know, that's just what we do. Just saying. Shit.
Denied.
Now we're set for the morning, guys. See how this happens? Feels good. All right, let's get back to it.
Credits. Before the Rules Committee this evening, House Democrats, led by myself and Whip Catherine Clark, will give the Republicans another opportunity.
What's up, Jack?
To extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits by introducing an amendment that will extend these tax credits for a 3-year period of time. Same period of time that these tax credits were extended back in 2022. Republicans have created a healthcare crisis all across America. Largest cut to Medicaid in American history. Hospitals, nursing homes, and community-based health centers closing all throughout the country because of what Republicans did in their one big ugly bill. Medicare still at risk of the largest cut it may confront in American history unless Congress acts by the end of this year.
This guy is such a fucking clown.
And of course, because of the Republican refusal to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits in the midst of a cost of living crisis that already exists, that they failed to address, health care for people all across this country is on the brink of becoming unaffordable.
What's up, Mr.
Working class Americans, everyday Americans, middle class Americans, unable to afford to go see a doctor. This is in America.
What's up, Alfred? Good morning to you. Great to see you in the chat. Hopefully you're enjoying your hump day morning so far.
The wealthiest country in the history of the world. And so once again, House Republicans, welcome back from your taxpayer-funded 7-week vacation. You now have an opportunity to actually take some action in an area of this healthcare crisis by working with Democrats before the Rules Committee this evening to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits. It's now my honor to introduce Whip Catherine Clark.
Thank you so much, Mr. Leader. And we are indeed looking forward to the return of the missing House GOP. 54 days. I know the dust has settled on their desks. I hope they can
What's up, Prez? And I hate this condescending bitch already.
find their voting cards. And I hope, as Speaker Johnson said, when they were home on their vacation doing the most, quote, meaningful work of their careers, that included talking to their neighbors, talking to their constituents, because I can tell you what we are hearing from people across this country. It is fear, it is anxiety. The thought that they may lose their ACA insurance, the thought that they may lose their Medicaid or Medicare because of the agenda of the House GOP. Take away health care and give permanent tax cuts to the very, very wealthiest in this country. I hope that Mike Johnson talked to Morgan in Ruston, Louisiana. Morgan's son needs an inhaler that is paid for through her health insurance.
All right, real quick. We got Motobomb coming in the morning right here. Always appreciate my man. Hopefully you're enjoying your morning as well. And thank you, by the way, for rating us this morning as well from your show. I very much appreciate that. We got Fredo in the building, a legend, the man himself. Always appreciate you coming in and hanging out with us as well.
And he needs frequent trips to the doctor to be able to survive and have a childhood he deserves. Morgan is so fearful that if she loses that coverage that her son depends on, there are no backup plans. There's no plan B. And so we are saying, listen to the American people and what they are telling you. I hope that you listened to them when you were home, avoiding coming to do your jobs here in the Capitol. And I hope, as the leader has said, you will take this opportunity tonight. We can't undo all the damage they've done, but extend the ACA tax credits for 3 years. Give small business owners, farmers across this country, moms and dads who depend on the ACA in order to get their coverage. Tell them they don't have to have sleepless nights worrying that their cancer treatment for their spouse might not be able to continue. They may not be able to manage their own diabetes, and they may not be able to find health care when they have a sick child. These are the very...
Well, sadly, Papa D, sadly, money has ruined politics and the authenticity of what politics could be. It could be so good. It could be used for so good. I was actually just having this conversation last night. We could do so good with it. Instead, we do all evil. Everything that is only the beneficiary, what the benefit could be for that person that is run. It's just self-interest. Everything is self-interest and power, man. It's just brutal.
Real cries of Americans. House Democrats are going to remain in this fight. And I hope that on their 54 days, they heard the...
There's two different live streams going on right now, Warland. There's a vertical live stream that you can go and watch, and there's a horizontal live stream. So there's two different live streams going on at the same time on YouTube.
American people loudly and clearly, and will come back to their senses and do what's right and protect health care in this country. And now it is my great pleasure to introduce our ranking member and fellow Bay Stater.
Oh boy. Oh boy. We got Jimmy Mack in the building. Good morning to you, as well as Tiffany Lance. Always appreciate you guys hanging out with us in the morning. We got Extra Surprise, as well as Stephanie saying, found y'all. Yes, you did. Very much appreciate you. Hopefully you guys are all enjoying your Wednesday morning, as well as make sure you guys do me a humongous favor. If you guys are on the vertical side, double tap your screen and hit that like button for me. And if you guys are on the horizontal side, make sure you guys hit that like button for me. I very much appreciate your laborious work on that.
On the Rules Committee, Jim McGovern.
Thank you. So 8 weeks ago, Speaker
I know,
Mike
Steve.
Johnson
I know.
sent the House of Representatives
You'll get
home.
used to it.
He basically abolished the House of Representatives. And he did so because he cares more about giving tax breaks to billionaires than he cares about extending tax relief to working families so they can afford their health care. I took the train down here today because I want to make sure I got here for the Rules Committee meeting. I got an earful.
All right, I really don't care about what this guy has to say. We're over it. We're over it, right? Right, Mount High? We're over it? Yeah, we got our left-handed tobacco ready on deck. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next ordeal here. DOJ to investigate TPUSA protest in Berkeley, California. As you guys know, Turning Point USA had an event yesterday over there at Berkeley, California, and it unfortunately turned violent, and the cops were there. I mean, it was a big ordeal. So anyways, now the DOJ is appointed to, go ahead and investigate this. So let's go ahead and bring this up, and we'll talk about it.
We're learning more details on the developments of a bloody scene on the campus there in Cal Berkeley last night. Let's continue on our coverage here on Live Now from Fox. Several arrests were made at this as fights broke out at a Turning Point USA event. Let's be joined right now by senior correspondent for Fox News, Claudia Cowan. Claudia, thank you so much for joining us. You were there on the scene. You were on the ground. What's the latest? And give us your perspective.
Well,
What's up, Sterling, by the way? Good morning.
Andy, that's right. Things turned ugly really fast, really quickly last night when several hundred protesters tried to block ticket holders from getting inside the Turning Point USA event, which was being held at Zellerbach Hall on the campus of UC Berkeley. It was just quite a scene and violent frequently. Police in riot gear, though, did hold the line against the raucous crowd. Many wore masks and waved Palestinian flags. They were chanting "No fascists" in Berkeley, among other much more vulgar slogans. Tensions boiled over when people began throwing...
They all definitely have a certain look, Papa D. That's a fact. It's a brutal fact.
rocks and bottles and even a flare. A man who breached the barricade was quickly taken down and arrested.
Hey, what's up, Taylor? I very much appreciate that. Yeah, we do this Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time to 11 every, Monday through Friday. Then we have members only Saturday, so I very much appreciate that. And the only thing I give a fuck about here, I'm going to be honest, is just the truth. I don't care about what people's opinions are about shit. All I care about is facts. So very much appreciate you hanging out with us this morning.
In another confrontation, a protester got into a bloody fight in the street with a man wearing Charlie Kirk's trademark Freedom shirt. Both were dragged away by police. Now, in a statement, Cal administrator said, quote, "We are aware of one violent incident last night. 2 individuals were arrested for fighting outside campus. They were arrested for battery by the City of Berkeley Police Department." We understand the campus police also made several arrests. And Andy, I can tell you that this violence last night has now gotten the attention of the DOJ, and a federal investigation will promise to look into issues surrounding security and how protesters were able to, quote, "operate with impunity" in California. So this is not the last chapter on this violence we saw at UC Berkeley last night.
Yeah,
Andy.
It's very unfortunate what unfolded there at this, what was a peaceful event turned
Shit. Steve Posey in the building. Shout out to my man. Good
very
morning.
violent, very, very fast. I do want to ask you, because you mentioned that DOJ investigation, the Assistant Attorney General for Civil Rights under Pam Bondi, they will be investigating it. She also pointed back to 2017 in Berkeley. Can you share any of those insights? Is that a familiar scene? Is that similar?
Well, you know, it's a good question, Andy, because, of course, Berkeley is known to be the birthplace of the free speech movement. But in the past, we've seen Ben Shapiro and Ann Coulter and other speakers who've been invited to come. But when they are conservative, they are not so much welcomed there at UC Berkeley. And that's what happened in the past. And there was an investigation, and I believe it was settled. So that's what Harmeet Dillon is talking about now in her post on X, launching this new investigation looking into campus and local security issues and what happened there last night.
And can you tell me what comes next? Because we know the arrests have to go through the judicial system. Is there any other events planned, any other conservative events? Because as you mentioned, Berkeley, really a hotbed for political activism. Are we expecting any other events from the right or the left?
not that I've heard about, not at UC Berkeley. I can tell you that last night marked the final stop of this Turning Point USA campus tour.
Cal, up there in Canada, we're talking about some crazy shit that happened yesterday over there at Berkeley, California. So hopefully you're enjoying your morning.
And organizers say this movement is only gaining momentum. And so they say they are planning more events at more college campuses with more high-profile conservative speakers in the months ahead.
All right, that is so very true. All right, thank you so much, Claudia. And it's been 2 months since that, obviously, tragedy that unfolded at UVU with Charlie Kirk. Claudia Callan, thank you so much. I appreciate your time here on Live Now.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you so much. All right, great reporting, as always, there from the Bay Area as the Turning Point
There's still more to it, though. Let's see what breaks.
Turned very violent last night. We do want to give you some more details about what we're seeing unfold. This a post from the New York Post saying the bloody brawl breaks out as agitators protest.
Man, that motherfucker got fucked up. Cuz shit. Sucks to suck, homie. Just saying.
This Turning Point USA event, UC Berkeley in California. You noted, as heard from Claudia Callan there, talking about the nature of UC Berkeley. It is sometimes, unfortunately, in the spotlight for some of the free speech, but obviously agitators, potentially people coming together. This turned very quickly. And these are some of the images that we're seeing last night of this, as now the DOJ investigating it. As the Department of Justice announced the agency would investigate protests ahead of the Turning Point event, where at least 3 arrests were made and fights broke out. In a Tuesday morning post on social media, Harmeet Dillon, a San Francisco
sick bastard, I got you, homie.
Why are you gay? You are gay.
Shit.
Attorney, who's now the U.S. Assistant Attorney General for the Civil Rights Division, said she, quote, sees several issues of serious concern regarding campus and local security and their ability to operate impunity in California. She had the scene on Monday night at this Cal campus, which featured conservative activist, comedian Rob Schneider. Authors was reminiscent of Berkeley back in 2017. So you can see some of these images, obviously very graphic in nature. So if you're
shit. Listen, anytime that you get any sort of a cut on your face, bro, it bleeds out like a motherfucker. I mean, it looks way worse than it actually is. Now, I have no idea. He may have a broken nose and shit. I have no idea. But it always looks a little bit more violent when it's on your head.
Your discretion is advised, but this was expected to be a peaceful event where people could showcase their voice, their viewpoint. Turned ugly very fast, violent very fast at this bloody fights, multiple fights breaking out. We had our Fox 2 team, Sky Fox, high up top, kind of giving a viewpoint of it as well. So obviously we're continuing to follow this here on Live Now from Fox. And before the event, UC Berkeley Assistant Vice Chancellor said the protest ahead of the Turning Point USA event was organized by groups that had no affiliation with the university. He added that the university was treating the Turning Point USA event like any other major campus event while upholding First Amendment rights. And again, this is a post from the Turning Point USA about that. The comedian Rob Schneider taking the stage for this Turning Point tour at UC Berkeley. It's really the last stop on a campus tour that is stretched far and wide across the country. You're hearing from Rob Schneider himself on social media saying, I would like to thank all the courageous Cal Berkeley students who refused to be intimidated.
What's up, brother Blair? Good morning.
By the, quote, not very tolerant left. We know who the real fascists are, the thugs who don't want free speech. And again, I just want to reiterate one more time this statement from part of the UC Berkeley staff, Vice Chancellor, saying they're aware of one violent incident last night. 2 individuals were arrested. We're now learning that potentially another one was arrested for fighting outside the campus. Those arrested for battery by the City of Berkeley Police Department. All right, following it all very closely here on Live Now from Fox.
Well, we're definitely going to be following this story for damn sure. All right, so, well, that's the latest on that particular ordeal. Let's go ahead and move on into the next story. Supreme Court extends order on SNAP benefits as government shutdown nears end. Now, this is a very, very quick update, which is phenomenal. I actually love quick updates like that. Quick, consolidated, to the point.
Welcome back in the Live Now from Fox. I'm Austin Westfall. Some breaking news from the Supreme Court. The AP saying this. Earlier on Tuesday night, SCOTUS extending an order blocking full SNAP payments amid signals that the government shutdown could soon end and food aid payments resume.
No, Joseph, I have not seen that. That sounds pretty fucking wild.
The AP says the order keeps in place, at least for a few more days, a chaotic situation. People who depend on the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program to feed their families in some states have received their full monthly allocations, while others have received nothing.
Nothing.
The order,
right,
which is 3 sentences long and comes with no explanation.
So places like California got their shit, but other states are suffering and stuff. Yeah, it's fucking bogus.
On the court's thinking will expire just before midnight Thursday. The Senate has approved a bill to end the shutdown, and the House of Representatives could vote on it as...
I got you, Mr.
Oh, shit!
Early as Wednesday. Now, reopening the government would restart the program that helps 42 million Americans buy groceries, but it's not clear how quickly full payments would resume. One thing we're also tracking as it relates to this government shutdown, by the way, this new bill
I'm so
that just
far
passed the
behind.
Senate
Holy
last night
shit.
would fund the government through late January, but it would also fully fund SNAP benefits through the end of September 2026. So that's one important facet of this that's worth noting as we track.
What's up, Mark? I see you in the building. Shout out to you.
This latest ruling out of the Supreme Court. Again, the news of the hour breaking from Katie Bueller. She says the Supreme Court has extended through Thursday its stay of an order requiring the Trump administration to issue November SNAP benefits. She says the House of Representatives will likely vote tomorrow on a bill to reopen the government, which, if passed, would moot this case. So, again, if the government does get funded, we expect.
Okay, so let me go ahead and reiterate this part right here. Give me a sec. So this is as of I think yesterday evening. So the Supreme Court extends through Thursday its stay on an order requiring the Trump administration to issue November SNAP benefits. The House of Representatives will likely vote tomorrow a bill to reopen the government, which, if passed, would moot this case, in which it was passed, by the way. Just saying. All right, we're going to move on, though. THC products could be banned by federal spending bill. I don't know why THC products keep being brought up into these equations. I have no idea. Let's go ahead and figure this out.
All right, you're watching Live Now. I'm Austin Westfall. Live look at the U.S. Capitol, 10:09 in the nation's capital. The government shutdown bill that the House is discussing tonight has a hemp ban attached to it. It's a ban that threatens to end the sale of scores of popular THC gummies, vapes, and beverages. The bill would prohibit the unregulated sale of, quote, intoxicating hemp-based or hemp-derived products, including Delta-8, from being sold online in gas stations and corner stores, while also preserving non-intoxication CBD and industrial hemp products, according to the Senate Appropriations Committee's summary. Standing by is Isaac Yu. He's a politics reporter with the Houston Chronicle. Let's just get right into what exactly this means for Texans and other people who live in states with similar laws to Texas.
Right. So this would be a nationwide ban on hemp. This is a version of the debate that's played out in Texas over the last year. Our lieutenant governor here, Dan Patrick, has really won.
Well, yeah, and we know Texas is staunch against, THC. A lot of the South is just real staunch against it. I just don't get it.
And really sought an all-out ban. Basically, that would do very similar things and have a similar impact on the hemp industry here in Texas. That bill ultimately failed. It did.
Yeah, I mean, any of the Delta shit, honestly, I say if you're going to smoke the damn thing, smoke the real shit. Don't be smoking Delta 8, Delta 9, whatever, all this other, variants, whatever. Just get the real shit. I just don't understand why it's so demonized and villainized.
Passed our legislature before it was vetoed by our governor, Greg Abbott. But now that same industry, the same group of companies that was under threat from that ban is now facing a similar ban in this shutdown deal.
So Senator Rand Paul was on the Senate floor late last night. We were watching as he and some of his colleagues, including his colleague from Kentucky, Mitch McConnell, they were kind of sparring.
That's right. Mama said marijuana's the devil. Shit.
Oh, my God.
Bring over the issue last night. What type of products will
What's
this
up, Ghost?
impact? I
Good
went
morning.
over some of the surface level stuff a moment ago, but let's say you live in Texas. What type of products won't be available if this loophole is closed?
Our understanding at this time is that this would affect almost any hemp-derived consumable products. So that would be any type of THC, Delta 9 or Delta 8, and that would be in any consumable form. So think edibles like gummies or drinks, as well as smokables and vapes, but also potentially topical creams, even CBD products that contain trace amounts of THC. The ban is pretty restrictive on the milligram. It's 0.4 milligrams per product or serving, which could pretty much wipe out.
What up, Cap? By the way, hopefully you're enjoying your morning so far, and hopefully you guys hit that like button as well. You guys don't have to necessarily hit the like button for all the craziness that's happening around the world, but you guys can like it for me and what I do, and as well as my takes, man. So I very much appreciate that. Double tap that screen if you guys are on the vertical side.
It sounds like 90 to 99% of the industry.
How big is this industry, to your understanding?
I know that in Texas, it's been an $8 billion in revenue per year industry. That's what's been quoted. I'm not sure about the net.
Yeah, it looks like they stuffed a federal ban, like a federal ban, into a bill. That's what it looks like so far.
Nationwide impact, but we know that it's really ubiquitous. For example, in Texas, we have over 8,000 licensed hemp retailers, and that includes every HEB grocery store, all of our CVSs. Hemp products have really penetrated, I think, into the retail market in all kinds of ways since they became legal under the 2018 Farm Bill. And we know that in Texas, part of the conversation is that this industry would be really difficult to ban, and I'm sure that's going to be part of what plays out under this federal one.
So this was tweeted out by your paper. The Texas hemp industry, fresh from fending off an all-out ban by the state legislature, is facing another extinction-level event, this time from Congress. If you can, let's go over some of the history with this in the Lone Star State. They fended off an all-out ban.
It happens nonstop, by the way, Belial. It happens nonstop. Look at what the TikTok bill was. That TikTok bill wasn't about TikTok. I mean, some of it obviously was. It was the face of the bill. But meanwhile, they're sneaking a whole different thing that's going on, and you guys should look up what the Restrict Act is. We allowed that to be passed, and I mean, that's 100 times, if not 1,000 times worse than the Patriot Act, and yet it got fucking passed because it gets stuffed into these bills, and I don't know how it's legal. Honestly, I have no idea.
By the state legislature. Explain to me some of the history. I know Dan Patrick has been vocal about this.
What's up,
That's
Crystal?
right. So this
Good
was
morning.
really a top priority of Dan Patrick and something he used a lot of political capital to get through the Texas legislature in our legislative session earlier this year. It passed both chambers, some on a bipartisan vote, and it headed to Governor Greg Abbott's desk. The hemp industry had some time to kind of lobby and work behind the scenes to get legislators on their side, and ultimately Abbott vetoed the ban. It came as a bit of a surprise move.
Oh, I see what you're saying, Naomi. Yeah, that is weird. I don't know why it's doing that, but I don't know. It's probably a glitch in the system. I mean, this is new, a brand new development that we're able to live stream from, a horizontal and a vertical from StreamYard. So I'm sure it's going to have bugs and shit. It's all
the
good.
industry really breathed a sigh of relief when that happened. And yeah, you're right. They're about to face this. I will note that the federal ban only goes into effect 1 year after the spending deal is inked. So that gives them, the hemp industry, a year to maybe figure out what's going on. They could try and impact Congress in a similar way and lobby with legislators. But for now,
Well, of course they're going to lobby. They have to lobby to stay alive at this point. I mean, the hemp industry needs to get together and put a stop to this.
it's like they're in Sapawa.
So are these businesses preparing for this government shutdown bill to move through, and are they preparing for a year from now?
I think a lot of the hemp retailers I've spoken to so far are pretty surprised. This is not something that was necessarily on everyone's radar. There was a question of whether this hemp language would be included in the appropriations bills under the shutdown. And this week it really became clear as the shutdown kind of comes to an end. It became clear that the language would be included. So I think a lot of people are still reeling and still figuring out.
Well, I guess 100 years from now, nothing will matter to me because I won't be here, right? So
what's going to happen.
I hear you.
And yeah, we're going to have to figure out next steps over the next year.
Isaac, you as a politics reporter.
Man, this is definitely brutal. All right, let's go ahead and figure out what this next story is. I can't pronounce this person's name. But anyways, someone's to be sworn in. New focus on Epstein files emerges. Let's go ahead and bring that up, and we'll go ahead and talk about it too. Let's go ahead and see how this person's name is pronounced.
We, of course, know that one facet of this shutdown involves southern Arizona, specifically Adelita Grijalva. And all of this
Grijalva
does tie into the larger Jeffrey Epstein saga. Now that there's a renewed sense of optimism that the government will be funded soon, there's also a renewed sense of curiosity about whether the House will force a vote related to the release of more Epstein files. A petition introduced by Republican Representative Thomas Massie is one signature away from forcing a vote on the release of new DOJ files. And Representative Adelita Grijalva, who won a special election recently, would be the one signature that would be required to trigger a vote in the House to pass it. Galen Deese is here. He's a Justice Department reporter for the Washington Examiner. This is a talker. A lot of people are curious about this story. Should this bill pass the House, it would need to clear the Senate afterward, and then it would need to be signed by President Trump, Galen. So what's the likelihood that it does exactly that it gets through the House, it gets through the Senate, and then it's signed by the president?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, because we haven't heard too much coming from the White House about whether the president would be signing this into existence after it, gets to his desk.
Right. It's kind of weird that I haven't heard Trump speak about it at all. Like, I'm waiting for a reporter, some sort of journalist to, ask the question, bear the question. Hey, Trump, when this gets to your desk, are you going to sign it? That's a good fucking question. Valid question to ask Trump right now.
And I think that that's something that has been on a lot of people's minds, but also the delay that we've seen from the investigation. We know that the House Oversight Committee conducting the investigation, both Republicans and Democrats, have said that they have not ceased their work with this, but because of the government shutdown, there's been reportedly a bit of a stop of the flow of documents coming over from the DOJ as it pertains to what they've
No, Cap, you're good. She's talking about all, when people come in and speak in all or type in all caps.
needing.
Yeah,
Now, we
that's what
do
she's
have
talking
some release
You're
of
good.
some transcripts that have happened from some of these transcribed interviews. Namely, the most recent one was the Alex Acosta, the former prosecutor that was accused of brokering this sweetheart deal for Epstein back in the late 2000s concerning his conduct and prostitution involvement there in Florida. Now, what we're looking at with what's going on with Representative-elect Grijalva is that she is expected to be sworn in at around 4 p.m. on Wednesday. And shortly after that, I'm told from...
Here, I got you, Anson. I got you.
Stop the cap.
Shit.
Emotional, damn it.
All right, back to this.
I'm a great congressional reporter with the Washington Examiner, Lauren Green, that she is supposed to be signing that position relatively soon after
What's up,
she's
mermaid?
sworn in. Now, there is rules and stipulations that state that after this petition meets the required amount of signatures, that there is a wait of around 7 legislative days, which coincidentally just happens to bump in with the proposed or the expected Thanksgiving recess. So when it comes to actually bringing this to a vote on the House floor, we could be looking at early December. So this is really just the first baby steps to getting that actually to a House floor vote.
Kaylin, one thing that's worth tracking is, let's say this thing does pass the finish line. Let's say that it passes the House and it does make its way to the point where the DOJ would have to release more Epstein files. Do we have any indication of how substantive a potential release could actually be?
Right now, the indication at this point is that the DOJ might have some files in possession, namely some files that are being kept by the FBI that have never seen or had public eyes on it. But what exactly is in those files is really anyone's guess. And that is, I think, really the crux behind all of this, is that the DOJ has, ever since it has sort of gone back on its memo that was released in July, saying that there was just not anything else really there as far as the Epstein case goes. We've seen efforts, obviously, for the DOJ to conduct interviews with Ghislaine Maxwell.
In an Indian voice, stop the cop. I don't even know how you do it. Shit.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Feels ultra good to be a G, bro.
And there's even been some reporting this week about Ghislaine Maxwell seeking some sort of commutation from the president, and also reporting that indicates that perhaps she might be receiving some special services while she's in her federal prison. But all of that is to say is that we really can't say what exactly the DOJ might have that they aren't releasing. And of course, the House Oversight Chairman, James Comer, has been putting a lot of trust in the DOJ, saying that they are complying with everything that they've been asking for. But yet, we have to remember that this is an effort really that's been promoted by Representative Thomas Massie in Kentucky. And he, of course, has a lot of distrust about, just letting this be handling that the Oversight Committee is doing. And he thinks that because it's been such a eating question on everyone's minds, that there shouldn't be any real stopgaps with this, that it should just all come out. But what is that?
Oh, wow. So the 218th and final signature for the Epstein discharge petition will happen tomorrow.
All I think is really the question that is perplexing everyone's about any thing that be something.
Thomas Massie is a Republican.
Okay,
He burned
saying that this is just a shiny object that Democrats keep fixating on. They think it'll be something
skipped
that
ahead
could
a bit.
potentially burn the president, but no evidence has come out thus far.
It's worth reiterating that Thomas Massie is a Republican. He tweeted this out, saying the 218th and final signature for the Epstein discharge petition will happen tomorrow. Okay, Caitlin, the DOJ has already, they've released files on Epstein. Is there any clarity on how many files are left? How big a piece of the pie have we not seen yet?
Well, it could be anywhere in the range of just everything that I just mentioned there about the FBI still holding some files. But the FBI is very well, anyone who knows the FBI knows that they keep these types of things that they aren't, disclosing under lock and key. So the actual volume of materials, I think, is really something that you can't really speculate on. But the idea is that there are certain things that the FBI always holds on to, sometimes things that don't wind up getting into grand jury, grand jury proceedings or even courtroom proceedings for criminal cases. And that could come down to a number of various reasons. Maybe it was certain evidence that they didn't think actually stacked up to muster, or that didn't think was relevant to any cases that they were ultimately going to bring some sort of charge.
Man, just put it all out. I just don't understand this whole fucking guy. Fuck this piece of shit, man. Fucking, I get really upset about the whole situation because I'm all about fucking just transparency. Just, you think the public can't fucking handle it? The public can fucking handle it. Just put it out there. You know what I mean? Like, God damn it. It's so frustrating because it's such a detriment to the Republican Party. It really is. I don't understand why they do this to themselves. They're fucking retards sometimes. Anyways, we're going to move on about the Northern Lights that happened last night. It was actually glowing like a motherfucker even here up until super late. Like, I think it was like 10:30 I last saw it, and it probably went on even longer. But anyways, 2 hours ago, there was a video that came out talking about the visuals of the Northern Lights. So let's go and bring that up, and then we'll get back into more of the crazy fucking politics. I mean, we still got to hear Speaker Johnson, Mike Johnson, for the House. We got to hear him. He's apologizing to, I guess, the nation, as well as Defense Secretary Hegseth is talking about the border, cartels, and beards again and shit. So we'll be hopping right back into that. But let's go ahead and figure this out real quick.
So I've been looking at these photos. They're absolutely magnificent. I mean, what a show.
I'm telling you, Carl, some of these images are coming in all the way from Alabama.
Alabama, shit. But this motherfucker, I'm a little sus here.
Why are you gay?
This morning on Fox Weather First, we had a live image up from the University of North Dakota from their Atmospheric Sciences Department, and we were watching the Northern Lights dance live on the air. It's a G4 storm. Basically, the plasma coming off of the Earth's surface, a big eruption that's happened. The scale is from G1 to G5, G5 being the most intense of the magnetic storms, if you will. And this G4, it's only the fourth time we've had this type of issuance for a G4 in a solar cycle. And a solar cycle, by the way, goes every 11 years. The one that we're in right now is solar cycle 25, which started off in December. So kind of rare. We do see the Northern Lights often, but when you have a larger scale like this, a G4, you're more
Some
likely
of these
to
images
see it
are
across
crazy.
a bigger chunk of the country, well down to the south. The Northern Lights, the Aurora Borealis, all of that energy, you can really reflect that off of the Northern Pole. You may even see it across portions of South America. Those are going to be called the Aurora Australias. But for us, tonight I'm looking at some cities as far as the forecast where we're...
That's up there in Minnesota. Look at this
should
one.
be lacking some of the cloud cover.
This is what it looked like for us last night. For us over here in northern Alabama. This is what it looked like.
Anywhere near Minneapolis, but you want to get away from the city lights. Detroit, away from the city lights. The Dakotas have a great shot of seeing the Northern Lights tonight. Omaha, Nebraska, Green Bay, Wisconsin, those are just a few of the areas where if you can get away from the city lights, the light pollution, you have a really good...
What's up, David? Good morning, and hopefully you're enjoying your hump day morning so far. Great to see you.
Chance of seeing those dancing lights, especially between 10 p.m. tonight and through the early morning hours tomorrow.
Canada?
So I'm taking a look here on our screen. I'm so sorry, Craig. I know you can't see it from
Candia, New Hampshire. I thought it said Canada down here, and then I realized it said NH, meaning New Hampshire. And then I'm like, oh, wait, it didn't say Canada. I read too fast, I guess.
But we have the most beautiful photos here that have been submitted. Thank you to everyone. Again, during this conversation with Craig that we have him on here, you can still submit photos by scanning the QR code there on your screen or heading to livenowfox.com/connect. Craig, so I know that you have been reporting on this extensively there at Fox Weather. Were you able to see any of these yourself?
I am so bummed. I tell you what, I get up at 1:30 in the morning to come into work, and I leave for work about 2:30.
Yeah, Dave, it was bright as hell for everybody, it seems.
I actually walk the dogs in the morning, and I didn't see a single light. I was so bummed. Of course, we have a lot of the lights from Manhattan and the big city. So
except for this guy, I guess. He's all in. This motherfucker's like studying and reporting on it, and he's the one guy that didn't see it. Like, what the fuck?
That's the problem. So it was pretty exciting when we saw it live from the University of North Dakota out there. When you see some of those lights, it's interesting. Whenever you see the greens and the reds, you're seeing more in the way of oxygen molecules. When you get to the blues and the purples, it's more of the nitrogen molecules. So quite a bit of scientific fun that goes into the Aurora Borealis. Not only is it beautiful, but it's pretty cool when you think about what's happening and creating some of those lights and the colors that you actually see. I don't know, did you see any of them?
Okay, so I was gonna...
Yeah, that's totally beautiful. But anyways, we're going to move on, though. We want to hear what Pete Hegseth has to say on border cartels and beards, I guess. So let's go and figure that out together. we'll bring this up. But before we start playing this, by the way, we gotta, you know what I mean? Like, we gotta get the money part over, you know? Just saying, we just gotta get the money part over.
All right, just get the money part done.
Give me money. Money me. Money now. Me a money needing a lot now.
Just saying. All right, we're good. We're good.
Denied.
True playbook. And President Trump understands this like no president since Teddy Roosevelt. The motto of my first platoon, and I think there's value, the senator himself served in Afghanistan, led men. There's value to our generation of troops now having an opportunity to lead. I never thought I'd put the motto of my first platoon to good use. But first platoon, Charlie Company, second to the 113th, New Jersey National Guard, Guantanamo Bay, 2004 to 2005. Our motto was, those who long for peace must prepare for war. And our logo was actually a giant peace sign in barbed wire. Warriors have repeated that motto since the 4th century Rome, including George Washington, the first leader of our War Department. And that's why we returned the name, restored the name of the Department of Defense to the Department of War for clarity. Not because we want war, but because we must be fully prepared to wage it. And since waging war is so costly, we owe our republic a military that can win any war we fight. And our adversaries have to believe that we're capable and willing to fight and win that war, which is what leads to actual deterrence. That's peace through...
Correct. It is AI, homie. Relax, cuh.
Strength. Should our enemies choose to challenge us, they will be crushed by the violence and the precision of the War Department.
What's up, Giggle?
These are not academic and theoretical concepts. They have to be real. It has to be real hard power, and the enemy has to believe you'll use it.
No, he was telling Pete Hegseth to shut the fuck up. Not me.
In order to prevent them from taking action. And certainly it's not theoretical right now. This feels like a 1939 type moment, or hopefully a 1981 type moment, where America needs to lead and rebuild to ensure that we maintain that peace through strength. Enemies are gathering and threats are growing. We have to prepare now. So if you're putting America first, and the roadmap is peace through strength, the third ingredient President Trump has injected is good old-fashioned Indiana common sense. Common sense is back at the White House, and it's back at the Pentagon. Common sense means putting warfighting, lethality, as the senator mentioned, training, discipline, accountability, readiness at the forefront of everything we do.
What's up, brother SST, my man? Hopefully you're enjoying your morning, your hump day morning. Always appreciate you. And real quick, we got Art over here. Yeah, no, I started on Twitch a long time ago, and I really don't use it like that. Once in a while, I do stream to it. But, yeah, come over on the YouTube side, at Insane Wheels. It's very easy, all one word, at Insane Wheels. So.
At the Department of War. That means no more social justice, no more political correctness, no more toxic ideological garbage that infected the department. As I've said before, but we repeat and we repeat because, as a good old television host, you know it takes a while for it to actually sink in. No more identity months, no more DEI offices, no more dudes in dresses. No more climate change. It actually was a thing. It actually was a thing. No more climate change worship, no more division, no more delusions, gender delusions or quotas, no more distraction. As the chairman of the Joint Chiefs puts it, Pete, you're clearing out the debris. That's what it is. We're clearing out the debris from out front of NCOs and officers. We're done with that stuff. It doesn't take a PhD to understand that sergeants don't need sensitivity training. But we're taking the next step. We're not just undoing damage, we're solidifying the way forward. We're taking concrete steps to ensure that common sense reigns going forward. We're restoring a ruthless, dispassionate, and common sense application of standards. I introduced a golden rule test in a speech I gave at Quantico to a number of generals and senior enlisted. It is, do unto your formations that which you would have done unto your sons. Would you put your son or your daughter into the type of formation you are creating? It's a very clarifying rule. So I don't want my son serving alongside troops who are fat and out of shape, or in combat units with females who can't meet the same combat arms physical standards as men in their units. Standards must be uniform, gender neutral, and high. It's simple. It's colorblind, gender neutral, merit-based. I say colorblind, gender neutral, merit-based. That's what the military should be. Because if they're not standards, then they're just suggestions. Suggestions that get our sons and daughters killed in combat. And that's why I've directed every service to ensure that every requirement and every combat MOS returns to the highest male standard only. One standard across those combat jobs. If females make it, fantastic. Then they're most qualified for that position. If not, then so be it. It's not about what gender makes it into what position. It's are the standards meet the duty and the...
That part I agree with. It should be a single standard. That's it. That's the narrative, you know, and I do support that.
Position, because a body on a battlefield or a 155 round weighs the same whether you're a man or a woman. So in line with POTUS's common sense agenda, the first item of what we're undertaking inside the Department of War is restoring the warrior ethos. So a lot of what I just said falls into the category of restoring the warrior ethos. And it's up and down the ranks. As I mentioned, that speech at Quantico, whether you're an airborne ranger or a chairborne ranger, a brand new private or a 4-star general in the Pentagon, you need to meet height and weight standards and pass a PT test twice a year. I also said, we don't need to be in military of beardos anymore. Do you know how many troops claim to be Nordic pagan? No, suddenly it's become like this real fake religious affiliation inside the Pentagon where troops claim to be Nordic pagan so they can grow a beard, and no one challenges them on it because no one's upheld standards for a long time. So now a quarter of the platoon is sporting beards because they're now suddenly Nordic pagans. We're not doing that stuff anymore. The idea is, it's sort of the broken windows theory.
What's up, brother GEG? Good morning and happy hump day.
Policing, there'll be some people that say, well, Pete, why would a secretary care about beards and PT standards? It's the same thing. Well, why would a mayor of New York care about squeegee men or about broken windows? It's because when you let the small things go, you create a climate of criminality. But when you let the small things go inside your formations, you create a climate of a lack of discipline where standards cannot be enforced. And if you can't enforce them on the small things, it gets far more difficult to enforce them on even more meaningful things. And so when commanders and NCOs are not empowered to enforce discipline and standards, instead they're called toxic. Now the entire command structure is flipped upside down. And what happens when directives have to be given in combat?
What's up, Dragon Classy as well? Good morning.
When bullets are flying, when you need directives to be clear and you need them to be followed. That's why those things in peacetime matter and they become a reflex in wartime. We're also ending what has become a risk-averse culture. NCOs and commanders no longer have to walk on eggshells, that's the phrase that we've used, for fear of compromising a blemish-free record. You see, blemish-free records are great in peacetime, but they don't work in wartime. So we're overhauling the Inspector General, the EO, and MEO processes so they cannot be weaponized. See, these processes have been weaponized to put complainers, ideologues, and underperformers in the driver's seat. I spent a year writing a book called The War on Warriors before I took this job, where I spent Saturday afternoons at Fox calling members of the military, every rank, every background, every service, asking them what works, what doesn't, what's going wrong in the military. And time again, they came back to command climate. It's impossible to be a commander right now because the minute you enforce a standard, you're called toxic and someone drops an IG complaint on you and you can't get promoted, you can't move on, and you're not empowered to enforce.
Someone in the Insane Wheels family, by the way, I'm trying to fucking find somebody that we can raid after we do the next piece of this episode. But no one's live right now. So someone in the Insane Wheels family, go live and let me know that you're going live so I can send a raid to you.
Standards. We're changing that entire paradigm. We're reviewing and flipping the entire IG process. Sure, you still can't be racist or sexist. Like, it's been illegal to be racist in the military since 1948. Those things remain and those things are clear. But officers simply upholding high standards that promote the warrior culture are not toxic. And we're no longer are going to be subjected to drawn-out, weaponized, unfair investigations.
Shit. What's up, Lou? Hopefully you're enjoying your morning as well.
That are never anonymous complaints that go on for months and they can't do their job. There's a big difference between something that's anonymous and something that's carefully handled or close hold, confidential. And we've worked with the services, with the joint staff across OSW to put in place a process that ensures that you can approach the IG if necessary, but commanders are empowered throughout. So that's restoring the warrior ethos. Number two is rebuilding the military. Our warriors, I mean, as the president points out, and he's right, we have the strongest, most capable, most lethal military in the world, full stop. No one can touch us. But if we're going to maintain that and put the best weapons, ships, and aircrafts and platforms in the hands of our men and women, we've got a lot of work to do, here in Indiana and across the country to get things on time and at scale. So when I think of rebuilding the military, we think of places like NSA Crane. Right here in Indiana, the third...
Aloha, yes, to an extent, yes. A very small extent. It's only on 1.25. But, yes, I do cram a whole bunch of shit in one single hour. So, yeah. Anyways, I'm done listening to this motherfucker. We're going to move on into Speaker Johnson now. Speaker Johnson says this morning, as of only an hour ago, I want to apologize for government shutdowns. So let's go ahead and bring this up. Let's go ahead and discuss it a little bit. 3, 2, 1.
I just want to apologize to any Americans who are out there who still have flight cancellations or delays today. I want to apologize to the many American families who are made to go hungry over the last several weeks, our troops and other federal employees who are wondering where their next paycheck would come from.
Hey, Taylor, always appreciate you. Well, hopefully we see you on the next, episode. Very much appreciate it. Have a good day.
All of that's on the Democrats. Just never forget, they voted 15 times between the House and the Senate to close your government. And the Republicans tried every single day of the shutdown to open it. And we voted 15 times to do that. They have a lot to answer for. And I just want to say that we're very optimistic about the vote tally tonight. We think this is going to happen. And we're sorry that it took this long. So Republicans are going to deliver for the people. We're ready to get back to our legislative agenda. We have a very aggressive calendar for the remainder of this year. There'll be some long days and nights here, some long working weeks, but we will get this thing back on track. So thank y'all. Stay tuned for more tonight.
Speaker, do you have any reaction to the...
And he just walks away. Shit, he just walks away like a motherfucker.
Oh, shit! Oh, shit! And some brief comments there from House Speaker Mike Johnson that we did just want to share with you here. And that live look there is our Capitol stakeout camera. So if we do hear from any more lawmakers, we will bring that to you here today. And once again, at noon, the House set to convene after the Senate passed a bill to end the government shutdown. The House expected to hold a final vote on the bill. And this comes after the lawmakers' funding bill survived a key hurdle earlier this morning. The bipartisan deal to end the 42-day government shutdown advanced through the House Rules Committee overnight, with all Republicans supporting the measure and all Democrats against. It now moves to the full House for consideration, where multiple people familiar with GOP leaders' conversations told Fox News they believe it will pass with nearly all Republicans on board. So once again, there's that live look there at that stakeout camera, as we did just hear from House Speaker Mike Johnson.
What the fuck are we seeing?
Here a little bit later from other lawmakers.
This motherfucker. All right, let's go ahead and move on. We have our last story. I lied because, I was mistaken. We have one more story that just came out. I just checked the sources. And breaking, Epstein email released referencing Trump. So let's go ahead and talk about that. That just came out here 27 minutes ago. And we'll go ahead and bring that up right now.
We are following some breaking news at this hour. I did want to share this social media post from the Democrats saying that oversight Dems have received new emails from Jeffrey Epstein's estate that raise serious questions about Donald Trump and his knowledge of Epstein's horrific crimes. Read them for yourself. It's time to end this cover-up and release the files. This is some file footage of the late Jeffrey Epstein, and I did want to share some more information on this breaking news. Jeffrey Epstein writing in a 2011 email that President Trump had, quote, spent hours at Epstein's house with a victim of sex trafficking, and said in a separate message years later that President Trump knew about the girls, in quotation marks. That's according to communications released today. Now, the emails made public by Democrats on the House Oversight Committee add to the questions about President Trump's friendship with Epstein and about any knowledge that he may have had in what prosecutors call a years-long effort by Epstein to exploit underage girls. President Trump has consistently denied any knowledge of Epstein's alleged crimes and has said he ended their relationship years ago. This is also a post from the Associated Press saying that emails from Jeffrey Epstein released by Democrats say President Trump, quote, knew about the girls and spent time with a victim. These messages are part of...
Yo, real quick, we got Briar Wolf coming in with the 11 months membership, man. I very much appreciate that, saying hope to see everyone at the convention this weekend, talking about DebateCon. I'll be at the I'll be the giant old bald guy with beautiful tiny Hellcat. Cheers, folks. This is awesome, bro. Yeah, man. So I plan on leaving to go up there to Nashville for DebateCon. I plan on doing that Thursday right after I do my show. So I'll be probably up there around 2 or 3 in the afternoon, So but Briar Wolf, for 11 fucking months, that's awesome, bro. Thank you so much for that. That goes a long way.
Of a batch of 23 1,000 documents provided by Epstein's estate to the Oversight Committee. The release resurfaces a storyline that really has shadowed President Trump's presidency during the summer, when the FBI and the Justice Department announced they would not be releasing additional documents that investigators had spent weeks examining. In an April 2nd, 2011 email to Ghislaine Maxwell, an Epstein girlfriend now imprisoned for conspiring to engage in sex trafficking, Epstein wrote, quote, "I want you to realize that dog hasn't barked is Trump." Now, there is a...
Man, I don't know why I'm just now seeing this. Naomi, thank you for the $1.99, saying all love to the IWF and new viewers. That is awesome as well. So thank you for making it rain in the chat. Very much appreciate that.
Redacted name included, and it said that redacted name spent hours at my house with him. He has never once been mentioned, police chief, etc. I'm 75% there, end quote. Meanwhile, Maxwell replied that same day, quote, "I have been thinking about that." The name in that email, who is said to have spent time with President Trump, was redacted, but House Democrats have identified that person as a, quote, victim. In a separate 2019 email to journalist Michael Wolff, who has written extensively about this, Epstein wrote of President Trump, quote, "Of course he knew about the girls," as he asked Ghislaine to stop, end quote. White House spokesperson...
So Trump asked him to stop doing what he's doing, basically?
Caroline Leavitt has accused the Democrats of having selectively leaked emails to create a fake narrative to smear President Trump, saying in a statement that the unnamed person referenced in the emails is one of the accusers who had also accused Britain's Prince Andrew and other influential men of sexually exploiting her as a teenager, and who died by suicide in April. Andrew had rejected those allegations and said that he did not recall meeting her. So we did want to share this information, as the House Democrats on the Oversight Committee have presented and made public emails regarding Jeffrey Epstein, writing about President Trump and alleging that he had spent hours at Epstein's house with a victim of sex trafficking. We do have a number of other stories that we do want to get to.
Well, that is absolutely brutal. All right, so I looked. No one is live. So unfortunately, I think we're going to have to send you guys off to the Diamond Effects thing. Yeah, let's go ahead and... oh, actually, Myron Gaines just went live. Let's go ahead and send you guys over there. Let's see what the hell he's talking about. Let's go ahead and bring that up. Just let him know that we're coming through with the Mike Ball raid. And I always appreciate that, you guys helping out in that regard. Let's go ahead and see if I have this linked up. No, I do not. Perfect. And we'll put him up there. All right, perfect. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I can't thank you guys enough. We'll be back tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for the Diamond Effect. It's going to be a great conversation, as always. And then, of course, we'll be back tomorrow morning for more of the world's madness, of course. But until then, I very much appreciate you guys. Much love, honor, respect to everybody. Hopefully everyone enjoys the rest of their day, and we'll see you guys very soon. God bless everyone. Be good.
From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges, a host with a fire burning in his soul. With a heart, steel, and a spirit unbroken, he rides on two wheels, ready to claim his throne. Amidst the chaos and the thunderous roar.